Most Metroidvanias want you to feel powerful. MIO Memories in Orbit, on the other hand, wants you to feel, fragile. I spent the last 30 to 40 hours inside the vessel, a dying megastructure that looks like a watercolor painting and fights like a Dark Souls boss and then some. But is this breathtaking adventure worth the rage quits? Let's talk about it. Strangers of distant lands, friends of old, welcome! You know what time it is, right? Time for yet another review, and this time around I'll be reviewing the game that took bits and pieces away from my very soul. Let's not waste any time and break down this review into sections. The flow of the game is fast-paced, even though Mio, our lovely protagonist, doesn't have a dash ability to traverse the environment faster. But where she lacks a dash ability, other mechanisms come into play to get you just a tad bit faster from point A to point B, such as the Hairpin, which acts similar to a grappling hook, and then there are the Striders, a crawling mechanism using Mio's tendrils that gets you walking for a short distance progressively faster before her energy runs out. Mio is really dependent on her energy bar, which can be found down in the middle of the screen on your HUD, as she uses the traversal mechanics with the energy itself. The concept is all the same like with other Metroidvanias. Acquire traversal mechanic, visit previously inaccessible areas with said traversal mechanic to progress. Now, we need to talk about the elephant in the room and address Mio's health. This game, already hard enough as it is, offers no sense to completion when discovering health drops to upgrade Mio's health. I found myself more often than not that as soon as I collected a new health point, which, by the way, those are divided into 4 fragments scattered across the map, Mio's health permanently dropped by 1 point through progressing into the story. I mean, I don't know what was going on through the devs' brains when they thought about implementing this mechanic in the game. Maybe a challenge for hardcore fans, maybe making the game ultra difficult and thus giving players a fresh perspective on the whole Metroidvania genre. Who's to say? All I know is that I really suffered due to this mechanic and felt stripped naked and more fragile when I progressed throughout the game. I was really thinking at one point, do I progress? What if I lose another health point? If that's what the devs wanted for you to feel when playing their game, congratulations, they've outdone themselves. Next up, mods. Mods are essentially the tools that provide you with upgrades in the game. These upgrades consist of either health boosts, damage dealers, or traversal upgrades that provides a slight improvement on said traversal mechanic. Now, don't think that you find these upgrades and equip them straight away. Oh, no. For that, you have to be at a seer checkpoint, basically the bonfires for all you Dark Souls fans out there. All said and done, you head over to a seer checkpoint. You open the menu only to find that the caveat of said mods is the allocation matrix. What is that, you ask? It's a chart that allows you to equip a certain amount of slots with each mod. That's right, each mod comes with its own matrix allocated slots. Some mods take away 5 slots of space within the allocation matrix, while others take 40 slots. So plan your mods carefully, cause it definitely can make the difference in this game between life and death. So now, not only you have to find all the mods in the game, but also you need to expand your allocation matrix slots just to equip that sweet health mod you've wanted for so long alongside the damaging mods you already have equipped. There are certain mods that allow you to expand the allocation matrix, but it comes with a boon. You have to sacrifice something just to expand the matrix, either health, energy consumption, decreasing the time window frame of which you can dodge, and so on and so forth. Mel is the only NPC in the game from which you can buy either some useful mods or extending your allocation matrix. The currency in game, Nacre. Nacre comes in 2 forms, liquid or solid. Liquid Nacre is what you get from defeated enemies. To solidify it, you'd have to visit these robots scattered throughout the map. Why solidifying the nacre helps? Well, if you die, you get to retain your solid nacre, whereas the liquid one, you lose it forever. And then there's a second form of currency in the game called Old Core. These cores, you find them while exploring. What do you do with these? Well, sometimes the greedy ass NPC that I mentioned previously called Mel asks you for them only to get you that sweet upgrade that you've drooled on for so long while window shopping his inventory. As mentioned previously, the seers are your basic checkpoints of the game, while they also serve as fast traveling points throughout the map. Except you cannot fast travel at these spots if the seers aren't there. What do you mean by that, you say? Well, it's just another, believe it or not, difficulty mechanism implemented in the game by the evil devs. Sometimes, if not all the time, I honestly cannot remember, the seers that are meant to be at the checkpoints are somewhere else in close proximity to the checkpoint itself, but really, and I mean really hard to find because more often than not, they are in a secret area, really missable if you're not that avid explorer. Gameplay score 8 out of 10 because of the whole losing health points mechanic and the upgrade system. Not a fan of those. Not one bit. Section number 2, difficulty. I honestly am scared a little talking about this game's difficulty. This section will only bring back the trauma, and I definitely will relieve all the past mishaps and all the cursing and all the failed attempts. But I'm good like that. What don't I provide for my friendly Viking audience out there? This game difficulty was purely on another level. Silksong, a total walk in the park compared to this one. Hollow Knight, the first one, eating ice cream on a Sunday. The sheer amount of pain this game's difficulty has given me, out of this world. I don't remember ever, for that matter, any other game that has proven this difficult. Sure, you do have your accessibility options, which is another way to say cheats nowadays, to turn on if the game itself is proven to be way too challenging for you. But no, honestly, I finished this game with no accessibility options turned on, just like the good old father intended. And honestly, do I feel more accomplished? Sure. But then again, the scale has switched so much this time around with this game that it's gotten to be 50-50. I mean, 50% I am glad that I stayed true to myself and didn't switch on those options, while the other 50% of me feels like I should have turned them on and saved myself a shit ton more of time. And for me, if you know who I am by now, with honor, courage and relentlessness, it has never, and I mean never ever, been a 50-50 scenario with all the games I played throughout my whole life. For all those of you who do want to play this game, all I can say is that I do hope you have the mental fortitude of a monk. Difficulty score 5.6 out of 10. And trust me when I say this is me being extremely generous. Don't need to explain myself why I choose this score, just go and play the game and I dare you to question my difficulty rating. Section number 3, graphics and performance. At least now we get to delve into the beauty of the game. Graphics wise, the game looks really stunning. It's not much by any means, but if you know how to appreciate art, it is layered down with these beautiful watercolor palettes. Throughout my years of being an avid gamer, I've come to appreciate the uniqueness of games when it comes to art styles, and this one I can say that it didn't disappoint at all. It runs smoothly by default at 60 frames per second and 4K resolution. I absolutely loved every second of each scenario. You have plenty of areas to discover their beauty in this game, and all of them provide its unique vibe throughout your journey. I had absolutely no problem regarding performance whilst I played it on my PS5, which made my experience so much more immersive. Graphics and performance score 9.5 out of 10. It definitely deserves this score for such a beautiful artwork. I would have given it a perfect 10, but for some reason that I cannot fully comprehend, I feel that something's lacking. Section number 4, sound and music. Yet another beautiful crafted aspect of this game, the music. The music in this game is truly out of this world. I found myself throughout this game like I was in an opera house. The cool one, not the one that gets you fast asleep. It shines really well with the pacing of the game. Sometimes it tones down in those just walk boring sections of the game, while on the bosses it really kicks up a beat, just to emphasize the boss battle itself, and it is something that I really found mesmerizing while providing me with that surge to just keep going and trying again, even if I failed at said boss battle. Truly mastery at work when it comes to the music of the game. Sound of this game was also something worth remembering. Every sound of the game was precise, crisp, and clear. Sound and music, a perfect 10 out of 10. It really made an impact for me, so much so that every now and again, when I like to chill, I get the music of the game to listen on Spotify. Matter of fact, right now, while I am writing this review, I am listening to the game's music, and it certainly provides me with the utmost focus that I need for this review. Section number 5. Story. You play as Mio, a tiny robot waking up in a massive overgrown spaceship. The developers, Douze Dixième, I hope my French is on point and I'm not butchering their name, have created a world that feels lonely, but alive. It's inspired by anime and classic sci-fi, and honestly, this is one of the most striking games I've seen this year. You're trying to revive the arc's memories, but the story is cryptic. It doesn't hold your hand, it leaves breadcrumbs for you to figure out on what's what. If you like show don't tell storytelling, you're going to be obsessed with this one. Story rating 8.5. No. Make that a solid 9 out of 10. I really like the story and the uniqueness in every character. MIO Memories in Orbit is a beautifully brutal masterpiece. It's for the players who miss that feeling of being lost and overwhelmed in a good way. Although not for the impatient gamers out there, as this game will do a number on you, it surely was a different experience to say the least. Final overall rating for this game 8.4 out of 10. If you're new to the channel, I'm Accursed Shadow. I do hope you've enjoyed this breakdown, and let me know in the comments, what's your favorite Metroidvania of all time? Is it still Hollow Knight, or has MIO taken the throne? As always, gratitude is in order for watching. Always remember to uphold the honor of the samurai, the courage of the Spartans, and the relentlessness of the Vikings. I'll see you, my brave Vikings, in the next one. Peace out.